Dude, you missed it on the camera.
All right, we are live.
Honestly, like,
Othello 2, take it away.
all right. Okay. I guess I'll start Sammy talking. But anyway, so I was thinking like maybe we can start backwards because like I thought like the ending was like a really good like to me personally like a really important like part of the story. So I like the question of how did the transformation of Othello's character take place in Act 3, Scene 3, but like I kind of think at like the whole end, like what did you guys think about like his development as like his personality?
I thought he was weak.
He
He killed himself. I thought he was a baby. He needs to grow up.
At the beginning, he was so sweet and innocent. Then he just like killed her, and it was like, oh.
He was like
Now I'm
so
trying to kill
ignorant to
myself.
the point where he made me mad. Like how could he trust somebody?
He
Somebody
depended
like that
so much on Iago.
Everyone did
so
though. Like
Yeah.
everyone believed everything that he said.
Yeah, which I thought was kind of
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah, it was really strange. He made me very mad, and I didn't really like Othello, to be honest.
Yeah.
When who could trust so much?
When he killed himself, I was like, you know what? I don't need to feel that because
It was so necessary.
Just like imagine how he must have felt though, like knowing he strangled the person that he like loved, but like ended up finding out that
She was innocent.
that's true.
Honestly,
Did he care?
I
But
think
it's
he
also-
should have went to her in the beginning and said, "Yo, are you cheating on me?"
Because he believed
Yeah.
Iago, and then she was like trying to be all sweet to him and did some weird thing with the little handkerchief thing. And then he was like, "No, get away from me!" And that's when she dropped it, and then that like
Yeah.
caused them. So if he had just asked her instead of like flipping out on her,
But I also
Yeah.
think there's like a
Except
point to
probably,
that
yeah.
too of why he did, because it was also in like the older time period too that maybe it wasn't like where the females' rights kind of weren't more as like defined as they are now. So like going asking being like, oh, did you cheat on me? Sorry. But like if you asked if somebody was cheating on you, you just kind of like assume that like the male was telling the truth, especially if it was like a trusted friend.
But
He
does
could
ask
you.
Yeah, and like at the beginning it was like Iago was mad because he wasn't put as like the general thing, and he clearly trusted Cassio more, so he should have believed Cassio and not Iago.
And like Desdemona was a very like well-spoken person, like a woman for that time period too. So he probably could have trusted her.
Because he believed Iago's wife after. That's why he believed Desdemona to begin with.
I liked Iago's wife. I did too. At the end, she was killing it. Iago's wife.
Oh,
She was the
Amelia?
real
Yeah.
MVP.
Yeah, I thought she was
honestly.
Amelia. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I just said Amelia.
Oh, sorry. I was just like, I thought that she was like a really like strong like female character for such like an older play. Like it really stood out to me because like I feel like you wouldn't usually see that, but like it kind of like added like something new to it, I guess. Like I don't know how to say it.
I always like looked towards Amelia when I was like confused on the play, and like she, for some way, like I could always pick up like what she was saying and the way she
probably,
described
like,
like
the
what
most
was happening.
sensible person.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly,
She had her stuff together.
Yeah, and like at the end with her like fight kind of, but like just kind of like trying to like get justice for like Desdemona, like her friend. So like her being able to like stand up for herself kind of like impacted like the play as a whole too.
The thing I didn't like about the play is that like when they started fighting, they like it was really hard to understand what they were saying because it just sounded like a bunch of mumble.
Yeah.
they talked so fast.
Whenever-
Othello got mad, it was like, "What are you saying?" Because I think he tried to like over pronunciate his words.
Yeah, and
almost,
they
and,
have like a
when he was
really
yelling.
thick accent too, so it's
Yeah.
really hard to like. Even when they were talking normally, I still had a hard time figuring out what they were saying.
Yeah, like you had to really pay attention, or you would be lost in like a minute. Because
Yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
a whole
I
bunch of
never
like
paid attention to a movie so much.
I
in my
also-
life.
I also think it's because it's Old English and we're not used to that, and it's harder for us to comprehend like what they're saying because from what they say we have to go back and like translate it ourselves to figure out what they're saying. So I think that's probably a part of it too.
And like another thing I didn't understand was like when he maybe I just like missed something, but like when he had that like seizure or like something happened.
Oh
to him,
yeah,
I
I
didn't
didn't
know
know
what
Because he was so
going on
distraught.
Yeah,
He
I
was
didn't
like
really
so
understand.
distraught that he found out when Desdemona cheated on him.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, I was like so
like
confused.
upset.
He has a house problem.
Maybe he
needs to
had a
deal with
panic
it.
attack and just kind of like wimped out.
I just like I didn't get it. I was like, what?
Yeah, it was kind of like unnecessary little details. detail, but like
Yeah.
I guess it kind of made sense. Kind of.
Like,
I
it was
made
like
it real.
done in
I
a
feel like it
different
was
way. Like Shakespeare kind of like wrote it to be something else, and like the actors just either overdid the part way too much,
Yeah.
so like it looked like he
A
had
little
a
bit.
seizure.
Well, I think the reason that he did it like that much is to like show the connection of how he feels with Desdemona and like
Yeah, like
Yeah.
how
what
much
the cause
that
of like
hurt
something
him.
like that happening.
Yeah, like how big it was.
Yeah, how big it was.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but killed her.
That's
I
what
was
it
turned crazy at the end. He was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, that's
But,
what
he was yelling a lot, and I was like,
I like
Yeah.
it's kind of cool to like look back the way like what I thought about Othello at the beginning and now like what I think about him at the end because like I really liked Othello in the beginning, like he was that sweet dude that like cared about his wife and everything, and then he turned into like what he was. It was like it's kind of depressing,
It
honestly.
Yeah.
shows that like love can destroy it. Like,
Yeah.
imagine being like kind of like the head of a bunch of people, and then like finding out supposedly your wife's cheating on you. You kind of be like,
Yeah.
Shit,
freaking
really
and for
out.
him to be
Yeah.
like a person of power,
Yeah,
like how he
Or
reacts
looked up
does.
Yeah.
like could ruin
He like
someone.
emotionally attached to her, and like that's not what he should have done.
For him
Well,
to react like that as a person of that status.
Yeah, like I feel like he had a lot of dependence on other people
Yeah.
for someone who was at such a high rank.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, and he like was so easy to like believe like anyone who told him anything.
He was really manipulative.
He had
Not manipulative.
Persuaded.
Yeah.
Easily
Yeah.
persuaded.
he had an obligation to like be steady for everyone that is looking up to him, and he didn't really.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I'm so good at that.
Oh,
Do we think he's a hero in any
No.
sense of the
No.
word?
No,
Why?
That's a solid no.
maybe what is
Maybe
it,
at the
what is,
beginning.
what is like the
like-
definition of like a tragic hero? Though?
Yeah, that's what I was
Like that's one thing that you have to like pick out because like if he's a tragic hero, like there's definitely
No,
difference,
Amelia's
but,
a tragic hero. She's the one who spoke up and
Like, does it
died.
mean, like-
Oh, a protagonist character that meets his or her demise due to some fatal character flaws.
Oh,
Yes.
They
Oh,
so
okay.
kill himself.
He's not a real hero. He is
definitely.
Well, he killed himself.
Yeah,
He was
all
like,
he did was like yell.
because he's
Kill his,
emotionally
like, life.
unstable.
He's a baby.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that would be considered as a tragic hero. Amelia kind of spoke up and she was like, "Hey, like, what are you
Amelia
doing?"
was just a hero, not a tragic hero.
Yeah.
Because that like he had like flaws. Like Othello had flaws.
Yeah.
But
Amelia was like killing the game.
Yeah, she was.
And then like what aspects of Othello contributed to his tragedy? I think it's another good question too. Like
I think it personally was him like just being too obsessive with Desdemona.
He was too trusting in
Yeah.
everyone that he heard from except
So-
Desdemona.
like it was probably like person versus himself because like he like if he was just like a stronger person on the inside that he could have like been more dependent on himself rather than like depending on other people.
yeah.
The
Like a
last
solid
question was like, do we pity Othello as a tragic hero, or do we find him at fault for the Desdemona play? I definitely don't like feel bad for him at all.
No, I
Like he's the one that like
Yeah.
was stupid and
I
like
mean, yeah, somebody who trusts that much should kind of look into who they're trusting.
yeah.
I mean, he threw Cassio out in an instant, and if he's been his right hand man, he had that game trust for years.
yeah.
So I didn't really understand that
Because
aspect.
of like one bad thing that he did.
Yeah.
If you loved Desdemona so much, like you should have just believed her.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
And talked to her about it.
it just didn't make sense if you look at it that way.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
like,
like
What happens if you like switch the roles kind of and it was like the other way around?
What do you mean?
Like
Othello
Othello
cheating.
cheating on Desdemona.
Yeah, Desdemona like
Well, I don't think she really has much
Othello
to say about it.
cheated on her, but like it's
I
just
feel like
she's a woman.
She would
Yeah.
like. I think she would ask him like be upfront about
Yeah,
it,
she would have approached him.
and she would have believed him too.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
she was she was like a much stronger character. Like I don't
Level-headed.
like
Yeah.
Like when I just think about like the play as a whole, like Othello just seems like the only like really good word is like weak, like what we said. Like he's such like a strange character.
Crybaby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
He's weak.
Yeah. Like he like is all like he looks like he'd be really like strong and like have his own like I don't know.
Have
He's just
stuff
like
together.
yeah, but he's like inside personality is a lot different. I think.
kind of like Iago.
Yeah, see, I'm the same way. I don't know why like everyone hated Iago, but like I really liked him.
He just brought some like interesting aspects to the
Yeah.
story, and I liked how you could see how the audience could see how he manipulated
He was kind
I
of
loved him as much as I hated him.
Yeah,
that
was
how I
a
feel.
good way to
Love
describe
it
it.
right now.
That like clicked really fast.
Yeah.
He's scary.
So,
I just
He was like a really strong trait. Wait, I don't know how to word that.
like he had very strong character traits.
Yeah. It was really interesting to watch him grow this story. I liked him for that.
Yeah. He was like a like interesting type of person to follow. Like, yeah. Cause like it was like he had weird attention. Like the way he went about it was like really like what am I trying to say? Captivating. Like, I don't know.
He did cause like 4 deaths.
But it was
only 4. That's it.
That's it.
Wait, why was he in like? His hands were like together at the end. There was like ropes or something. Like
because they were like gonna tie him up because they found out that when they found
He
something
like
out,
admitted
like,
to it or something.
Yeah.
yeah, like
I totally missed that. I was like, oh.
like I definitely thought that like I definitely think that like Iago deserved to live, which is kind of like a backwards thing because that way he had to like suffer seeing his plan like totally backfire because like everything happened exactly not how he wanted it to because like Cassio ended up in higher power, he ended up in jail, everyone else died. It like totally went so rough, but now he has to live and like see it. So that's why like
What was his goal though?
like he just wanted to be the lieutenant.
Yeah.
He just wanted to get Cassio out of there. He could have
What
just
was
let
so
him.
great about Cassio?
Yeah, why would you have to like
That you had to kill him.
So then like I guess the theme of it could be like careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Turn around and like stab you in the back pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice job, guys. It's groups.
I'm leaving my stuff here, whoever sits here.
I'm so
Did you have it?
I'm gonna talk to you guys.
You can change that slide. Okay, Iago group, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, 12 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start off with like what I thought like the overall theme of was based off of Iago. So I noticed that like all Shakespeare's plays kind of have like an overall theme that they go based off of. And at first I kind of just didn't understand what it was. Like I didn't get the point of the story, but not now after the end I get that jealousy kind of was the theme of the overall play. It was shown through like Othello when he was like so jealous that he ended up killing his wife, and then Iago, he like was jealous of Cassio so much that he like made up this whole plan to kill a bunch of people, which is kind of...
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Like most of Shakespeare's plays is either based on like comedy, which is kind of like the Disney and they all get married at the end. And then there's also like tragedy, which is what we watched. So I mean, I usually watch like more of the comedy. So I wasn't really used to this. I usually don't watch plays or like movies like this because I like to see the happily ever after. But I think it was good for a change.
I think that another theme would be the like deception.
Yeah.
Because they were talking about how all the characters said he was exceedingly honest. I think it shows like how he was two-faced, and this allowed for the conflict to go so far because it showed that nobody knew what he was doing, and if people had found out, then none of this really would have happened, or would have been able to go so far.
I kind of wish that he wasn't so like. I wish that I couldn't really tell that he was manipulative. A little bit, so like the audience kind of understood a little bit better.
or like once they figured it out, like they were like, oh, like kind of have that like light bulb moment. I feel like he was just too manipulative, and it just showed too much that you just hated him.
Well, I agree with that, but I feel like back to what Taryn said about the jealousy thing. I think he was just so jealous that Cassio was Othello's right hand man, and I think he wasn't originally bad because I don't think Amelia would have married him because I'm pretty sure she's smart enough to not marry someone like him. But I think that Iago was just so focused on getting revenge, and he, in the end, it didn't really work out for him because I think he went too far.
I was kind of confused when Amelia was saying that Iago has been asking for the handkerchief for so long, but it wasn't really that long. Like you never saw him ask.
So it was probably like before they did that, beforehand, because we didn't see the whole story. Yeah, because we didn't know how long. Because he might have been.
Yeah,
planning
I
really
was
a while.
planning it for a while.
Yeah, I was also wondering like why he wanted to be Othello's right hand man so badly. Like throughout the play, he like would always like kind of make rude remarks about him about like him being poor and everything. So like if he hated him so much, why did he go to all these lengths to like become his right hand man? Like not even the general, like just become second to the general.
Well, I think it's kind of like a pride thing because like he wanted to have that title of being like higher up than he was, and kind of like having Cassio be lower than he was, kind of like prideful.
I think he just killed Cassio then instead of.
Well, because then if he killed Cassio, then maybe like someone would
Or,
figure
like,
it out.
blame it on someone else. I don't.
That was it kind of led to that.
Yeah.
Like if he killed him, then he wouldn't be looked at to get the spot because he killed him. But having other people look like they did it, I think that was the whole point.
I think in general, he just had such a strong desire for power that he was irrational and was willing to go to any length to do it, which is like why he schemed all of this.
When I was looking at his character, it seems really simple that like he just wanted to be a lieutenant and he didn't really care like who he ruined their lives to get to there. But I was just wondering like how did I guess Othello believe it so much, and like how did he get the plan to work just perfectly? Like he had to get Cassio to be out of position because if he didn't do that, then he couldn't convince him that he was cheating with his wife, and so there was just like a lot of little things that just had to line up for it to work.
I think the main thing, like when watching this, it was kind of stressful because none of them would communicate with one another. So if there was communication, then I feel like this might have backfired, but literally none of the characters talked to one another about like what they thought. So
Iago was literally, it was funny to watch because they would all talk to Iago, but then they wouldn't talk to each other. And I think that Iago was honest before, but I think he was just blunt, and so people just thought he was being honest, but he was actually lying to them. And so I think they just thought it was normal.
Yeah. I think the most frustrating part out of the play is that we all knew what he was doing in the truth, and it was really unrealistic because I don't think this would have happened with that many characters not talking to each other. Yeah.
Maybe it was just like the time period, and they weren't really gossipy, I guess. I'm not really sure, but
I think one of the most important things that Alina said is just that Iago wasn't always like this, and I think that we came in thinking we knew exactly who he was, and we didn't see a scene where he was like normal, I guess, and so we didn't get the perspective that all the other characters had of him before he kind of went crazy with wanting power.
I feel like in the end, when all of the characters were dying, like I heard a lot of comments at the end, like, "Oh my God, Iago didn't die. Like he was the only one I wanted to die." But me personally, I'm not sure if I wanted him to die because I wanted him to kind of like serve for all the deaths and not just get out of them. So I was kind of happy he didn't die.
Well, like we never saw him get killed or see his like punishment sort of thing. But do you think they would have killed him because of what he did?
I don't think
so.
I feel like they would have just walked.
Yeah, I feel like he was too high up in power.
They didn't really have any proof that he did it. And I mean, they had Amelia saying it, but she's a woman, so
Yeah.
And I mean, like, he can't really do penalty deaths because he didn't technically kill anyone.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe he killed him.
Yeah, he killed him.
I couldn't help it.
I mean, like, he killed her, but like, he couldn't be charged with Desdemona's death because that was Othello, because Othello was like so like prideful, and he was like, I'm hurt, so I'm gonna kill her so that she can't do this anymore. So he can't really be blamed for either of their deaths.
he was smart about it because Rodrigo, Cassio already like hurt him, but then he actually killed him, like he finished it. So he was just, I feel like he was just really smart about how he did things, and it was just like how Gwen said in the last discussion, how it was kind of captivating because you're just like, how does that work? Like it was just so like perfect, but at the end it just all fell apart. So
Yeah, like it seems like he planted the ideas into like everyone's heads, and then he just like connected the dots and then just drew like the bigger picture of like everything just happening to just fall into place, and then
Yeah, I mean, my question is like, how long do you think he was thinking about this whole plan, or was it just something that he went along with it and kind of like?
I bet it was a while, because I think the handkerchief thing, like that kind of showed that it had been planned for a while, because Amelia said that he like kept asking for her to steal it, and she didn't understand why, but I feel like that kind of shows that it had been planned for a while.
I feel like he's definitely like a puppet master throughout like this whole play. I mean, like I do feel like he was smart, but I don't feel like he was that smart. I feel like he was just manipulating people that weren't that smart, because they kind of just, went along with whatever they said, like whatever they were told, and they just didn't communicate at all.
To what Ava said, I feel like it's kind of like the movie Inception, if anyone's seen it. He would like introduce the idea to someone and let it fester and make them think that they were the ones coming to this conclusion on their own. And like he would pretend like he wasn't trying to he was trying to pretend like it wasn't his idea and it wasn't his intention. He was trying to let the people come to that idea themselves, even though they really weren't.
I wanted to talk about Amelia again because I feel bad for her, because I feel like she really did love Iago when she gave him the handkerchief, because I had a feeling she knew it was wrong. And then her reaction when she gave it to him, she was expecting him to be happy with her, but he didn't even thank her, and she was upset. And I just felt really bad.
Yeah, I think at the end she kind of realized like who he is and like what type of man he is, which I thought was kind of good to like. I thought it brought like kind of closure to the story, but I feel like Amelia was two-faced too. Like in the beginning, how she loved Desdemona, but then she went behind her back and gave the handkerchief to Iago.
I don't think
she
didn't really know what she was doing.
He just wanted it,
So she just gave it to him. But I feel like in the end, when she realized that handkerchief was such a big part of like everything, and she just spilled, and but she could have kept quiet about it, but I'm really glad she didn't, and I think that showed like what a good friend she was to Desdemona.
I mean, like, why would she give the handkerchief to Iago and not ask any questions? Like, that'd be a little weird. Like, your
She
husband
didn't
is
ask
asking.
questions, he just didn't tell her.
But I mean, like, your husband's asking for one of your best friend's handkerchiefs. Like, that'd be a little suspicious.
I feel like she loved him a lot, and like obviously she didn't know what type of person he really was, and I also think that I don't think she knew the whole story with the handkerchief, like how Othello gave it to her, it was his mother's and he gave it to her. I don't think she knew that story. I think she just thought it was a handkerchief. So although it was weird to be like, oh, he wants Desdemona's handkerchief, I think that she just loved him so much that she was like, okay, I'll do anything for you.
I think it was also like in the day and age, like the handkerchief meant a little more than I think we think it does, and especially in the scene where like Cassio gives it to Bianca, and I think you kind of see what the handkerchief, not that exact one, but like the symbol of that kind of means. So I think it meant more, and she just thought nothing of it to take it, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys good? All right, so if you could go on to your notebooks, please.
Yeah.